What's going on, everyone? How you doing? Ron here with Tech Tips to Go. So in today's video, we're going to just go over the best performing IDOs in the first week of May. So my team and I have done a lot of images, some analysis on some of the IDOs that interest us. So we're just going to go over them. But let me just blast this on Twitter. So give me 1 second. Let me blast this on social and just get the word out. Live on YouTube. I just uploaded a video too, so give me 1 second. Let me just copy. Live on YouTube. I almost said live on YouTube. Let me just blast this on Telegram to all the people in the Telegram group. Let me pin that. Let me pin this live on YouTube. All right, let's get started. Let me just share my desktop for a second. And then I'll get to some questions later on. So desktop, no face. All right, so here's the best performing IDOs initial DEX offerings in the first week of May. So some of the stuff my team did in the platform. So Polylatic. So the price was 0.00145. The sale price. That does not look right. Does that look right? No. Anyways, the ROI was 36.33x. Wow, the all-time high. So if you timed it right on KickPad. That's funny. You know what? Like, so I've got all these memberships to KickPad and all these sites, but I'm just so busy that I don't enter probably 90% of these IDOs. I've just been so busy. But look, you could have done a 47x on your money with Polylatic. Bulk network over here. So bulk network, the sale price was 0.01. The initial price offering, I guess, was 0.13. So the market cap, 1.16 million. The all-time high ROI was 23x. The ROI right now is 12. So I've never heard of this TGE platform, A2DAO. Actually, yeah, A2DAO, sorry. That was May 5th. And Ignition is a popular platform here. Plethori, 0.25. And the sale price was 4 cents. Wow, and it actually came out at 25. So that did a 20x. So imagine the money that you can make with all of this, just with IDOs and private sales and all that stuff. So let's take a look at some of what they do. So the Elastic Finance Aggregator, so Polylatic, if you come and see them, it's the index of Elastic Finance. So again, it's powered by Binance Smart Chain. I only look, to be honest, I only look for projects that are on Binance Smart Chain. If it's on Ethereum, I don't even buy it unless I really need to move it or buy it or whatever. So look, Polylatic tracking the elastic finance market. So experimental, algorithmic, collateral, and it's a cash system. So you can see Polylatic index explained. You know, it's an index is designed to track token performance within the ever-evolving elastic finance. So I think this project will do very well long term. And it deals with stablecoins, cash system, and whatever comes next. The index is weighted based on the value of community, supported, measured by the number of stakers as well as the market cap of the token. So I'm actually looking at bagging some of this just because it's on Binance Smart Chain. They have a great community. And let's get into the next one. So the next one is Bulk. So come check out Bulk Network. They got 30,000 followers. Uniswap, right? So 0.01. The current token price. So the private token sale was 0.01 Now look at the 13 to 14 cents. So they did about 13.7x, which isn't too bad, which is really good. So you have a decentralized venture platform. So you can look at the pitch deck. 70 plus projects, 6 million allocated, media, production, and marketing. So, and you could take a look at the pitch deck as well. Bulk network. While that loads, let's take a look at the next one. Plethori. It's a decentralized cross-chain ETF trading platform and ETF creation protocol built on Polkadot. I like this because there's not that many players with derivatives and ETFs. So, you know, I'm not too sure exactly how they're doing now, but I kind of, you know, once I see powered by Polkadot and then also ETFs and derivatives, I think there's only one or two companies that I like that are doing like ETFs and derivatives. So here you got like the first decentralized cross-chain investment platform for open trading and creation of trustless ETFs. So built on Polkadot, built on Optimism, and you can look at the partners that they have. So Kylan is a big one, Dex, CyberFi, and ETF trading platform coming soon. So I wonder what their roadmap is. So what is Plethori? Plethori is a decentralized cross-chain ETF investment platform that allows trading and creation of trustless ETFs by utilizing blockchain technology and layer 2 solutions. So the platform will connect the Ethereum and Polkadot ecosystems, empowering traders by providing a wide range of ETF tokens to trade and invest, and leveraging the technology of the blockchains to open new avenues of investment strategies. So you can see the cross-chain interoperability between Ethereum and Polkadot. So here's the roadmap. This is what I always look for in a website. If you're new to blockchain and you're getting into cryptocurrency, see if the company sticks with the roadmap and they're on time. If they're not on time, and they got a roadmap, you know, see if they're meeting all of the stuff that's on the roadmap. Roadmaps are very, 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 I'm going to say this like 1,000, very important in the community. Roadmaps, very important, right? You can see, like, you basically take this roadmap, you hop into the Telegram group and just ask, okay, we're in Q2. Has everything been done on this roadmap, right? Or where are we on, you know, the farming vaults, right? The SEX listing, the centralized exchange listings, etc. Right? You want to ask these to the admins and just make sure that they're on time, right? So that's one key important fact is a roadmap. A lot of companies are doing this, showing the roadmap on the website. So very, very key. The team over here, actually thought I knew this person, but it's great. You know, they all have their LinkedIn profiles, right? Very visible, transparent team. So here's Bulk Network. Bulk Network is loading, so we'll just forget about that. Anyways, that's on the list. Let's take a look what else is on the list here. So Plethora. Let's go look at some other things. So let's take a look at Z. The latest IDOs on Z do. So Trade Stars. I think 2 of the members in our group are big on Trade Stars. You know what? I like this concept of Trade Stars. So TSX Trade Stars. If you're not familiar with Trade Stars, think of fantasy, like fantasy betting, but you're investing your money into the stock of a player like LeBron James of NBA. Anyways, let's take a look at the website. I'm not going to show this too much, so let's go to Trade Stars NFT token. I actually took a look at Trade Stars. Hopefully this is it. Trade Stars. Yes, it is. So look, you got Tom Brady, LeBron James, and basically how much is your sports knowledge worth? And basically you can buy a piece of LeBron James, and if you think it's going up, you could trade it. So if you just watch this explainer, it's pretty cool. I don't know how well they'll do because with DraftKings, it's not like a DraftKings competitor, but I just think the concept is cool, but how much adoption will they get, right? Like the interface looks really cool, and sports betting is big. So I wouldn't be surprised if TradeStars takes off, but it all depends on community, right? And the platform and how the platform works. And sometimes you take these risks to get in early into the pre-sale just based on believing in their concept. But, look, you could unlock players, outsmart other users by buying first. So you could buy stocks in this company or this player. But imagine if he gets injured, then the valuation of his goes down, right? So you can't sell him for much, or you can't sell your action, right? Because he's injured for the season, stuff like that. So I think this is really cool. If you follow basketball, if you follow NFL, I think this could be big, right? Because on a decentralized platform, betting, and the world of betting and with NFL and basketball is huge. If they get NBA, like they're already showing Alan Kadim of the Boston Celtics. So anyways, this isn't about TradeStars. I was just showing this because I got 2 members in my group on it. So NX Space. So with TradeStars, I remember seeing, I think that I was on Binance BSC pad. The sale price was 16 cents and the listing price was 50. So they're actually below. They actually went below the TGE event, the public listing. So they went down to 40 cents, but the sale price was 16 cents. So if you got in early, you still did this is pretty bad. Well, not bad. They did a 5x. So their generation, their TGE event was not great because the all-time ROI was a 5x. The ROI right now is, I think it's about a 3x right now. So NX Space did 3.72. Equalizer Finance did 53x. So congrats on them. It's difficult with TGE events, building up to the hype, etc. Companies really need a team, communities, people to talk about it. And if you don't get that, you get small ROIs on the public listings like this. Like you get a 3. But let's take a look at the last one. So this is Gate.io's latest results. So Defund, Lion Token, and Lever. I got into Lever Token. Lever Token, I think I did a 3x on that. So Gate.io is not that great, not popular of an IDO platform. So I'm pretty sure these ones did like a 3 or 4x. Never heard of Lion Token, but Lever Token I got in. I just did an easy 3x. So anyways, let me get to some questions, see how everyone is doing. All right, where are we at? What's going on? Patrick, Pat E's in the house. We got Karen in the house. Oriane is in the house. We got Dog as Dwayne. Vami's in the house. Mattia, Chris, Kieran, Manifest Wallace. Jay's in the house. Mike O. Michael Stora. What's going on? Can you explain how Telegram works real quick? Okay, so Telegram. How do you use Telegram? Basically, I don't want to share my Telegram because I got a lot of private conversations in there. But Telegram is just like a communication platform. You got all the conversations on the left, okay? And you can talk to people in that group. So you click on the public group that you're invited to or that you find, you join it, and you just start to communicate. It's like Facebook Messenger or something, or if you ever never used a Telegram or communication platform, all it is just a way to communicate with other people that's in a group. So for example, I've got my open group, which is, Tech Tips to Go, TTTG group. Then I got a private group, but our private group has moved over to Discord. So if that confuses you more, you'll get more confused, because if you're not used to communication platforms, Telegram is easy to use, but when you move over to Discord, you might find it a little bit harder because things are broken down into sections. But it's like a bicycle. You'll learn to, you'll get used to the platform. Once you get used to the platform, great. But reach out to me or reach out to any of the admins in the group. But once you start using it, you'll get used to it. Give yourself like 1 hour and you're like, oh, okay, this is how you send a message. This is how you send a voicemail. This is how you send a voice note, etc. So, and then you move over to Discord and it's pretty much like the same thing. It's just a communication platform. So, shout out to Manifest asking me, if I had 100,000 and we're started from scratch, how would you invest it? Wow. What's your risk, Manifest? So if I had 100,000, where would I invest it? Not financial advice, the way I would look at it. So if I think we're getting into a bear market, so I'm taking, you know what? I'm taking profit in 5 or 6 months, because I think I don't want to risk riding everything to the top. So the next peak that we get, I'm taking profit, like no matter what, because my bag's different. Like I'm like, everyone knows that I got into VeChain at like 0.00175. I sold a lot of it at 2 cents, so I did like a 10x. Got into another coins that did like a 10 or 20 or 30 or 50x. I continue to do that, so my bag and my portfolio is sitting pretty. It's nice. I can't complain. So for me, I'm going to be taking profit, not because I think that the bull run is going to end. I just think we're getting closer to the bull run, but there's also a possibility, and I think that it's not going to end fully, but it's going to extend. But what if it doesn't? Do you want to be sitting with a bag where you didn't take any profit? That's why I'm taking profit. It's not financial advice. I'm taking profit because I'm fine with if I were to cash out everything now. Okay, so I'd be fine. But would I take all of the profit? No, I would skim off the top and take a lot of profit, because I think we're going to be getting closer to the peak of the bull run towards the end of the year. So even now, I think, like, if, like, for me, if I see a big spike of, let's say, Kusama going to $600-700 or whatever, I'm going to start taking profit and not be greedy, because I don't want to get left with a bag that is, you know, like, that has spiked. And a lot of our coins have done very, very well, right? And that's why I say, like, when you diversify, make sure that, like, it's just very key to diversify. Like, you know, even if you, like, you're a maxi, you just got to think, because there's so much money to be made. There's insane amounts of money to be made in this market. Like, you look at guys in our group, like Vami, Manifest, he made money. He made great money on Luxo. Randy, I think he made $1 million. Who else? You know, Pickles. Pickles did 120K. And me and Pickles did another thing. We made great money on some calls on 1 inch. We put $1,000, made like 20,000, put in 10 grand, made like 100 grand, easy, right? This was all from December, just doing DeFi plays. And they weren't risky DeFi plays. They were just, and they weren't degen plays. They were just legit companies like SushiSwap, like Uniswap, like 1 inch, getting into these coins, Solana, Roar, Rune, Thorchain, getting into those coins and flipping them, buying 5K of it, flipping them, buying Dash when Dash was $70, and then Dash goes to like 350. So stuff like that, right? Like, you know, you get in early, you seize the opportunity. And that's why I don't like to say just go into one coin, because there's so much money to be made. There's way too much money to be made just to keep bagging one coin, because every coin has its time, right? You lead up to events. Certain coins have an event. Certain coins have a mainnet coming, like Cardano. Like Cardano was like the easiest play. Everyone knew that Cardano was going to do what it's going to do. Like, well, no, not everyone knew that Cardano was going to go from 20 cents to $1.70. But you knew that, you know, Gauguin, the release and the events that were coming up, you would at least get a 3 or 4 or 5x. So if you put in 100 grand, then you came out with 400, or, you know, if you put in 20 grand, you made a lot of money, and rinse and repeat. So anyways, back to your question. So Manifest says, if I had 100,000, my goal is to have a mature portfolio, less degen. Same here. So I'm out of degens as soon as I sell a lot of my stuff. Obviously shares in that portfolio. Okay. So Would I say VeChain now at 21 cents? I bought VeChain again at 14 cents on the dip, but then it pumped back up, which is good. That's what I wanted. 14 cents to 20 cents to 21. I'd stick a small bag of money in VeChain. I would look at Ethereum, and I would look at Bitcoin as altcoins, and the altcoin cycle starts to go up. You're hoping that Bitcoin goes back to 40. If you see an opportunity where Bitcoin goes to 40, that's where I'm looking at buying just a DCA. Because I actually bought, like, with the profits that I made, I was able to buy more than, I think I was able to buy like a Bitcoin and a half, about 1.5 Bitcoin. And I made good profits just recently and stuck it into Bitcoin. And I continue to look for dips for SHR, but I would buy SHR. I'd put some in VeChain. I'd look at Ethereum. Hopefully Ethereum, because when people were calling for Ethereum at 10K, yeah, it's not that far off. Like, you just like 2 point whatever X, and they're at 10K for Ethereum. But when you get into Ethereum, that is a slow and boring ride, because you're not going to get that many gains if you have a higher risk tolerance. For me, I would even put in a lot into Ecomi OMI, because Ecomi OMI is a platform that can get mass adoption. And you want mass adoption. You want people that come into cryptocurrency, because the overall end goal for all this, we want for this bull cycle to run up to what we wanted. We need dumb money in. We need retail investors from stocks, from traditional investments coming in. We want the economy to open up big, people to rush in based on Dogecoin, based on whatever coin. I wish the meme coin thing stuff would have started a little bit later. So as the economy completely opens up, more people are spending, more people have their jobs, more money is coming in from stocks into crypto. People would keep their money in with the meme coins, but also look at utility and all that stuff, right? So I would look at that, right? I would buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, VeChain, SHR, and then I would kind of go into Ecomi, because Ecomi, the reason why I say Ecomi is because Ecomi is hurting right now. It's like at 0.4, and a lot of people bought in like around a penny. Like, a lot of people bought in at a penny. And if you've seen what Ecomi is doing, they've got, they have great partnerships, but I always like to also balance it too with risk. So I would look at, so I've got my safe plays, like my Bitcoin and my Ethereum bags. Those are my safe plays, super safe, right? What I hedge against. Not to say that sharing is not safe for VeChain, but you just don't know like how they're going to react into this bear market. People don't know how this bear market's going to be. People don't know how long the bull cycle or bull run's going to be for this upcoming one. So that's why I'm saying I'm taking profit more towards, while keeping an eye from September, October, November, December. Okay, so from September, October, November, December, if we reach these spikes, okay, so hopefully the token that you hold has everything out, right? Like, and it has momentum. As it's going up, I'm taking profit around September, October, November. Because for everyone, you don't want to be riding a coin all the way up and, and then it goes all the way down and no one really knows what's going to happen. People say, yeah, this bull cycle is going to be different. We don't know. I don't know. But for me, I just don't want to take my chance. I'd rather skim off a little bit of profit. And if I made the wrong call, hey, I wasn't greedy. Profit is profit, right? You just don't want to ride up something like this and it goes all the way down, right? So that's why I say, like, over the years and over the months, you should be building your portfolio and rebalancing every 3 months, right? And don't try and swing trade too much, but rebalance your portfolio to a point where you're like, okay, every 3 months, did you make a lot of money on this one? Okay, maybe I can pull out my initial investment. Let me re-diversify into another coin. Okay, some people just stay in one coin, that's it. Or they stay in a couple of coins, 2 or 3 coins, and that's it. it's not bad to, like, no one could, there's no right or wrong in this. A lot of people can just, let's say you're in 3 coins, you've made 5x on all of them, take out 2x or 1x or 1.5x, explore some other coins in NFTs and DeFi, or maybe you wanted to do it in yield farming. So you get that passive income, right? And then at least you're getting that yield farming income where, let's say you're making $100 a week or $200 a week. That $200 a week could go into, different other coins, or it could go towards your bills or whatever. But if you're looking from an investment standpoint, yield farm right, don't get wrecked. Memes, you get wrecked a lot, and just take your profit. With memes, the way I look at memes is all you need is just one coin. All you need is one coin that'll do wonders for you, okay? So let's say you got 5 coins at $200, that's $1,000 investment. But one of those coins that you turn $200, let's say, for example, like Mr. Pickles in our group turned $200 into $120,000. Now, is it worth looking at 5 coins at $200 each, spending a total investment of $1,000 to get a return? And that hopefully that you get lucky at one of these 5 coins moons for you, one of them, right? But with meme coins, you got to play it right, where you got to get in early. So you always got to be on your toes and just kind of see and think that, okay, well, did I get in early enough? If I did get in early enough, what should I do next, right? Do I ride the wave? Do I ride out long? Do I think it has potential because it's always doing this automatic, like, market maker liquidity, where someone buys, it's always pushing in like 5, 10, 15%. That's the way I look at it is, like, if I put my money in, I'll either get out when I do a 1x because I put in $5,000. But if I put in $200, like a small amount, so a small amount to me is like $200, $300. If I put in $300, like a Hodge Finance, what I'll do with Hodge is I'll just let Hodge ride, because $200 is like zero or hero for me. Now, if I put in 5 to 10 grand, like I put in $5,000 with Safe Moon, that's a significant amount that I kind of don't want to lose, but I would be happy if I did a 1x or 2x. So with Safe Moon, I made 10 grand. Well, I put in 5 and I cashed out like 9 or close to 10, and I was happy with that, right? And I didn't want to lose that. So that's somewhat of my strategy, and then I'll just reinvest it into, like, I bought a ton of Polkadot. I bought Bitcoin and a ton of Polkadot. So with sorry, you know what, Manifest? I didn't mention Polkadot. Okay, so with for me, I'm super bullish on Polkadot. Okay, in the bear market and in the bull market. Okay, the way I look at Polkadot is like Ethereum back in 2017. Polkadot will probably go really big in this bull market, and yes, it'll probably go down a lot. But if you think of where Polkadot and Kusama is going, like every chain that is out there, or every company that is doing a private sale, a pre-sale, or coming out, what do they want to say? They always want to say powered by Polkadot, powered by Polkadot, powered by Polkadot, right? Because you guys, everyone knows that has been watching my channel, like Polkadot is in here. You've got the relay chain, all right? And then you've got all these spikes outside of Polkadot, like they're called parachain slots. These slots are leased. They have to be leased by the Web3 Foundation. Now, I think that's like millions and millions of dollars that has to be leased on a 3-year period. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone, but it's like a 3-year period. So you got a 3-year period of Polkadot, and you got to pay millions and millions and millions of dollars, and that's why they call these things initial parachain leases, IPLs. They used to be called something different, but now they're like an IPO or an IPL, initial parachain lease. So you'll have players like, XYZ company that wants to get crowdfunding. Now, how are they going to do that? They're going to start an initial purchase lease offering on Polkadot. Now, that's what I've been saying. Collect Polkadot, because you want to be involved in these companies to join this IDO and fund the company. And then in return, you get rewards of that project if you think it's going to be great, because majority of the projects that are going on Polkadot, they're not going to be crap projects. They're the big boys, okay? The big boys are going on Polkadot. The smaller guys are going to go on Kusama, and I think there's going to be a Kusama bridge from Kusama to Polkadot. So that's why I keep bagging Kusama and Polkadot, because those two chains are going to be massive. Now, I think Polkadot is going to follow like the Ethereum, But now more people are like seeing the potential. Everyone is staking Polkadot. Everyone is grabbing Polkadot. Okay, where is it going to go? When there's leases on these relay chains or these slots, it's going to be restaked and locked for another 6 months to 24 months. Because if you're familiar with joining an IPL like Karura or Akala, you take your money and you say, I want to allocate my Polkadot for 24 months, for 2 years. So 60 to 70% of Polkadot is actually staked right now. Now people are going to move it out to move it into a parachain lease offering to stake for another 2 years. And if you see how hot IDOs are so hot, people want to grab X amount of this token to get into initial DEX offering. For example, Pokestarter. Everyone was collecting Pokestarter because they wanted to get into these IDOs. Where do you think Polkadot and Kusama is going to go? People are going to start collecting Polkadot. Polkadot is going to just boom, right? Because all of these chains are going to start doing IPLs. So, and then we get into the bear market, okay? These companies are still going to have to operate. They're still paying the lease, right? And then we come into the other cycle of, 4 or 5 years from now. Where do you think Polkadot's going to be? You think Polkadot's going to be at $50, right? After all these initial chains and leases go on. That's why I think Polkadot is just going to be so huge in, this cycle and the next cycle. It's going to kind of remind me of Ethereum. Will it be a $4,000 Ethereum? I don't know. But that's why I'm so huge on Polkadot and the ecosystem and Kusama, Polkadot. And they even mentioned that there will probably be a bridge, like you've got the Kusama chain is going to just bridge to Polkadot. And like some people say, yeah, it's like a competitor of Ethereum, not really, but like with Polkadot, it just makes everything talk to each other. Like you could have cross-chain interoperability, what people are doing with lending and DeFi platforms. Now you can have an Ethereum chain talk to a Bitcoin chain or to a Polkadot chain or whatever. Right, or hopefully in the future like a Binance Smart Chain, right? You're going to have Ethereum chain talk to, Polkadot to BSC, because Polkadot can do that, and that's the whole vision and the goal for them. So that's my rant about what I think you should have in your bag. I would actually, it's not financial advice, Manifest, but when I think of me bagging and making money, everyone hears me like talking about, okay, I'm going to buy more DOT. I'm going to up my DOT. And I've been upping my DOT, like other than Bitcoin. I've been bagging a lot of Bitcoin and just Polkadot. I think that's what I'm going to hedge against, because I don't want to get rid of all my coins in a bear market, but I'm willing to take my chance and ride Polkadot long term, even if it loses like 60 to 70% of the value. So shout out to David C. Anyways, I just ranted on for like way too long. But DC's in the house. Best way to purchase sharing in Texas? Yeah, you know what? I think you have to use a VPN, or you can use Uniswap to buy SHR. Qcoin, you can. If you have access to Qcoin, go for it. Try Qcoin. Slickrick is in the house. Matei is in the house. Good idea to take profit into USDT, then stake. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in stablecoin, and then buy the extreme dips, right? But I'm gonna invest into stuff outside of crypto. Put in the stocks that, put into like an index fund, the S&P, Vanguard fund. And then if it dips a lot, then at least I can pull out some of my money out of an index fund, move it back into crypto and buy the dips. But I'm going to take the profit, move it into an index fund, or maybe buy real estate or put a down payment on something, right? Like something like that. I don't know. But I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to ride the top and then you got nothing. So that's why I'm saying September for me, September, October, November is when I'm taking profit. Like I said, I don't want to ride a bag. Like, let's say my bag is like 100,000 or 200 or a million. Let's say my bag's a million. I don't want to ride, a million and then not do anything and just see it go down to like 300,000. No, like I'd rather take some profit at 1 million. Take 2, 3, 400,000 and put in stable coin, and then decide what I want to do with that stable coin. Do I need to move to Portugal? Do I need to move to Hong Kong? Do I need to move to the Philippines? Or can I write it off or some kind of expense or something? Like keep it in stable until I figure things out and really talk to my accountant. What's going on, Ben? Ben's in the house. Casper, I don't know. Yes, that too. So Matea into physical gold and silver. So that's my other plan, is getting into like gold and silver. So I have a little bit of gold. But yeah, like that's one of my things. I'm looking to get into precious metals. So physical gold, and just store it at the bank, in those banker boxes, those secure things. Shout out to Mark Innes. What's going on, Mark Innes? Manifest says, okay, I'll go to BTC, ETH, share, VET, Luxo. Luxo overall, he called me. I still have to learn how to yield farm. I'll go through the course. Thanks for the big advice. Yeah. Yeah, dot. So let me just repeat that. Like Bitcoin is, like, I think you hold Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is slow, boring, but it's king right now. It's king. You just never know when it'll go from like 60,000 to 200,000, and by the time it gets to 200,000, like you're kind of late, and now you're like, to get 0.1 of a Bitcoin is just like way too much, or to get even one full Bitcoin is just too much. So yeah, you know what, yield farming, I love yield farming, and that's why like yield farming has got me lazy. Like, so I've got clients and like leads and calls that we get for the business, and you know what, we don't even take that many business calls, because I'm like, how much involvement is this going to take compared to the profit that we can make with yield farming? Because yield farming, depending on your investment, you can make a lot of money. You can make like $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day. But when you start making $1,000 a day, your investment's got to be more than 6 figures. Like, you've got to have you have to have a lot of money, more than 6 figures just in yield farming. And yield farming could be risky, but if you do a conservative approach, you could probably like put in 40 to 50,000 and get like $400 a day, probably $300 a day, $400 a day. So $400 a day at times 30, that's like 12 grand a month. If you've got like 50 to 60,000, so that's a lot of money. That's like a full-time income, like making 12 grand tax-free. Well, not tax-free, depending if you claim it or not, right? So like, that's why like, I love yield farming. I like yield farming. I like some of the degenerate plays where you can get high APY, get in, get out, and make $400, $500 extra a week, and you made like, if you just compound that, you made 2 grand on a month, and still 2 grand is a lot. Just pay off something, put that aside. You got to learn more about money management. And okay, well, you made 2 grand. Now where are you going to put that? You're just going to put that back into degen stuff and lose it? Or are you going to actually do something with it and shove it into Bitcoin and set and forget? So for me, that's why, like, when I make these plays and I sell, like when I sold my Safe Moon and I made profit on my Safe Moon, I took my profits and I just bagged DOT. But 5 grand a DOT, put it away, set and forget. And then the other one, like when I made a lot of money, I ended up buying like Bitcoin and just set and forget, because I don't touch my Bitcoin. I rarely touch my DOT bag. I only touch my DOT bag if I want to yield farm in a high liquidity where hopefully I don't get rugged. And I'll pull out in like a day or two. So I'll get my fees back, make a little bit of money, and get out. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. How many projects require KYC and Pokestarter? A lot of them. I kind of hate Pokestarter sometimes. Jacob says, when do I know when the sharing app is going to be released? Mid-June. So we are mid-April. Wow. Mid-April. I think, yeah, so I don't know. I'm trying to think. Mid-June to July, I would say. I think July. I don't know. I would say July, because I think from what Tim mentioned, it has to go to, they have to get the test results, whatever, and then probably program some things, fix some things, and then it goes out to a round of 2,000 testers. So then they're going to report their things, and then after the 2,000 testers, it's going to go to the masses, right? So once it goes out to the 2,000, once they announce that, or when more people get the email, because people will know when they get the app, because more people are going to be like, hey, I just got an email for the app. So that means that you're part of the 2,000 people that are now testing the sharing app on a global scale, or well, not a global, but on the 2,000 group, right? So when people get that email, I would probably say another 2 to 3 weeks after that, roughly. But I could be completely wrong. So if we're looking at timelines, maybe let's say that 2,000 people goes out to people in June. They test it for a week or two. That brings us to the second week of June. Maybe July, maybe mid-June to July. Yeah, maybe July. I would say probably realistically, yeah, you're right. Maybe mid-June to July, because we're in the midst of May, right? May 15th. So, but which coins should you keep during the bear market years? Yeah. I'm just thinking of my portfolio, because my portfolio is just so my portfolio is big in terms of like holding a lot of coins, because I know that these coins are going to each have its turn, right? And I'm going to be taking profit. Put them in stable coins and stuff. Any thoughts on Pokelaunch? No. Pokelaunch, no. Yeah, silver is the move. Yeah, silver is good. Are you basing the top off a stock to flow model? Yeah, a little bit stock to flow, but the way I look at it, Manifest, is like you've got better projects out here now. You have projects like SHR. So for me, I don't think unless SHR goes ballistic crazy, unless SHR goes like super crazy, like I don't know, whatever number you think is crazy, like big, I will probably skim off the top, maybe just a little, maybe. But it depends on how Sharing's block Explorer, okay? If Sharing's block Explorer, okay, let me just share my screen. This is why I say it's important to watch this, okay? Okay, so here is Sharing's block Explorer. Now, in the future, we go to charts. If and when, let's say these numbers and these transactions get to some crazy amount, like, because Tim has been saying we're going to get to 500,000 transactions per day, okay? If we surpass 500,000 transactions, we're doing 1 million, 2 million, 2.5. It's easy to monitor and make your decision, okay? In a bear market, if we're in a bear market and things are going down, look at Chainlink, look at Celsius, okay? Look at Chainlink's performance in a bear market. Look at Celsius, how they grew in a bear market. So that's why I say it's different for every coin. Yes, I think Sharing will dip a little bit, but that's normal in a bear market. Everything's going to dip. You watch this chart, explorer.sharing.charts, whatever, okay? if we start to boom with transactions, and this changes where we can start to see transaction ID by so-and-so customer, transaction ID by the government of Australia, transaction ID by so-and-so, or, you know, you've got like 5 million transactions a day based on travel, Viator, Expedia, Rakuten, whatever. If this is firing like crazy, I will say, nope, I'm keeping all of my SHR, and I'm just going to let it ride, and I'm going to just stake, okay? But we won't see this until we start seeing, and you monitor the transactions on the Explorer. Until you see this move up consistently, then you're fine. It's no different than, VChain fireworks. I forgot the site, but basically, you can see all the transactions per day. So if you go to VChain stats, like today, their VThor burn has been, over the last couple of days, has been really low, really, really low. 42,000. The total burn is fine, but this used to be in like 1-2 million, depending on the day. Now, like I said, like once Sharon comes out with all the products, the customers, everything that they have in the NDA, and this is what's key, is we have to wait and see when this starts to fire. Once it fires, then I'll get more bullish and be like, okay, and people are going to be missing the boat. When people miss the boat, then it's too late. Because once this starts to go up, price will follow. But right now, people are waiting for the app. People are waiting for NDAs to be announced. People are waiting for a lot, okay? I know people are upset that the app isn't out and there's a lot of delays. But delays happen. But like I said, just keep watching this. And if you're new to sharing and not financial advice, and if you haven't invested, the thing that you don't want is just this to boom, and it's too late for you to get in at 4 cents or 5 cents. But like I said, you just have to keep an eye on this, because people are waiting for, what Tim said, 500,000 transactions a day. That's key, right? So once you start seeing 500,000 transactions per day, and you start seeing customers and the NDAs have been announced, that's when you take into consideration everything and you start to plan. If we're consistently firing 500,000 transactions a day, and that's based on customer A, I don't think customer A is going to like pull the rug and go away. I think he's going to continue business as usual. So at least we know that from customer A, we're getting 500,000 transactions. Let's say they open up a new module and says, okay, we've opened up the Rakuten module, and we've got like 1.5 billion users using Rakuten. Now we're consistently doing 3.7 million transactions per day. That will be consistent. Once you see the consistency, then you could give a better estimate of whether or not you want to leave, or you want to cash out, or you want to invest more into SHR, okay? Just keep poking around the SHR. Keep poking around the admins. Ask them, say, who's firing what? Is there a way to associate the transaction ID or the person that's firing? Is this transaction ID or this wallet address? Does that belong to Rakuten or whatever? You take a look at the Flowbacks wallet that the team owns. Do you see that Flowbacks wallet, keep filling up, the pocket's getting fatter, those are some of the things you got to look at. So this is key, okay? Everyone keeps asking me, when is it going to go up? When is it going to go up? Wait until transactions start, listen to the news, keep an eye, poke around, ask the admins, ask me. Those are some of the key things that you should be looking at. Anyways, I probably ranted on way too long about that, but you don't want to be too late to the party. And you never know when SHR is going to boom. SHR is going to explode. But you don't want to be late. Christmas in the house. Omi is selling out and making millions in beta stage. Yeah, exactly. Omi, I'm really big on Omi. The negative sides of Binance Smart Chain. Sometimes BSC pad is just like, for me, BSC pad is not, the allocation is small for what you put in. Like I've got 15 to 20,000 in there, and sometimes you get allocation like at 30 or $40. Sometimes you get more. But for me, like I don't use BSC pad because I get my own allocation. So I get like for a lot of projects that are coming out now, I'm getting allocation from companies if I can, help them out. And obviously I'll tell the public, like basically I've got into private sale of this company, and obviously I want to show my own bag. Like if I got into private sales for like I'm getting contacted by a lot of companies for private allocation. So you'll notice as I talk about more projects, obviously I'm going to show it because I've got private sale. So I'm looking at selling a lot of my my pads and stuff, my launch pads, because the allocation is just too small. It's like $40-$50, and then what happens is it's a long process. So if you're not familiar with like launch pads, you gotta subscribe to the Twitter, you gotta retweet, you gotta tag 2 people, you gotta fill in a form, you gotta get KYC'd, and you gotta remember all of these steps and follow their announcement channels, follow their Twitter. So imagine you had like 5 different launch pads. I've got like 4 or 5. So imagine you got like 4 or 5 different launch pads. It's annoying as hell. Like it's like, so I've hired staff to do this for me. Like my staff like does a lot of this stuff for me, but I still think it's a pain because I get a calendar and it's like invite, and I've got meetings, and I'm just kind of like sick of it right now. So, and I skip all of the launch pads. Like I said, I think I skipped 90% of them this month and last month. My business contact info, just reach out to me on Telegram. If you want to speak to me, talk to me on Telegram. Perth Mint has run out of physical silver to sell. Yeah, silver is good. Yeah, BSC pad. It's the same thing with TGE events, whether you're private sale, pre-sale, whatever sale. You're not going to get your full allocation at the right time. Sometimes it comes a little later. Even Pokestarter. Pokestarter, you might get your allocation 20 minutes after public token sale. So it's no different. Like, unless you're part of the team and you're doing some kind of inside job, then you might get like token allocation the minute of, just to make your money. But this is crypto, man. Crypto's Wild West. You're never going to have it your way as a retail investor unless you create your own coin. Then you dump on people, right? But, some people do that. But yeah, I wish I got, I know a lot of people like with the refinable. I wish I was able to KYC. Like, I didn't even get to KYC refinable because I'm in Canada. I can't even KYC, so I was pissed. I was pissed at that. So I was like, I couldn't even get on the Pokestarter. So it just sucked. Anyways, and then I tried buying. Long story. Check out MemePab. They specialize in helping launch memes. Current ratio, gold to silver. Yeah, silver is crazy. What I think about SLF? I've never heard of SLF and BNB rewards. No. You're accumulating more silver than gold. Yeah. I'm starting to get into more silver because I think the silver price just skyrocketed. Robin, thanks for that. Yeah. Yeah, KYC hurts for most Canadians, and for most Canadians and people from the US, you can't KYC most of the time. So that's the thing that sucks, is when you get into these launch pads, you can't KYC. But for me, it's different now because I've got a team. Some of my staff are like out in the Middle East, India, Philippines, and where else? Russia? No. Middle East, Philippines, India, majority. So they could KYC, like from our corporation and business, they KYC the stuff for me. So that's the thing. You just got to find someone you can trust, do it legit, get someone to KYC, and hopefully you trust them and they'll run with your tokens. But yeah, a launch pads aren't the greatest. And then you also pay a lot for these launch pads and tokens, and they change and all that stuff. So it's different. But anyways, KYC is hurting. But anyways, that's it for the live stream. I just wanted to do a quick one. I always say a quick one, but it's always almost an hour. So anyways, that's it. I'll see everyone in the private group. I'll see everyone in the open group. If you want to get a hold of me, just come to the private group, the open group. Come to my open group and just look for me and just send me a message. Hopefully I read your message. Like I said, I get like hundreds of messages a day. So if I miss your message, just try and at me in the open group. And hopefully I read it and I stumble upon it. And that's it. So anyways, I'll see everyone later. Thanks for joining the stream.